Mitsubishi are making a statement with the all-new Express for 2021. The Mitsubishi Express is a welcome return from Mitsubishi to the world of the commercial van. We've been here before with the earlier model L300. That was a very short, truncated model. This one is what we call a semi-bonneted van. It's got this engine mount here, which is great for frontal impact protection compliance that all van manufacturers must meet today. And that's really the way to go for the modern van. Mitsubishi's onto a real winner here. So as you can see, stylistically speaking, the Mitsubishi Express is seen in all the best neighbourhoods in town, particularly when it comes to retail shopping. We should really mention the fact that this van is particularly good at going into very, very tight spaces, despite the fact that it's actually got quite a large engine. This one is the 2-litre model and a short wheelbase. Now there is a long wheelbase vehicle coming and it's going to have the same 2-litre engine. In the short wheelbase models, however, we also get a 1.6 twin turbo. Now, the twin turbo is a little bit quicker off the line than the 2-litre, but the 2-litre gives you a bit more power, which puts out around 125 kilowatts of power and around about 380 newton meters of torque. And overall, that will give you a fuel figure reading of around about 7.7 litres per 100. And you'll be emitting about 191 grams of CO2 at that point, which is pretty good for today's times. As you can see, we have the benefit of dual sliding doors. Now that's particularly useful when you're coming into an area that you don't know, because you've got the dual access so you can go either way. Now, as to speaking to area, what are we talking about here? Well, basically we're looking at a 5.2 cubic metre space, which is absolutely perfect. It's the Goldilocks number that all van manufacturers attempt to go for, or as close to that as they possibly can. What they don't do necessarily though is make it so that it's nice and modular and very easy to fit cargo into. But we could actually get 2 full-size pallets in that space, and it goes very neatly right between those wheel arches, which is usually wasted space and very, very hard to manipulate. But Mitsubishi have done a fantastic job of maximising this potential, as I expected they would. I want to just point out a couple of points here that are not necessarily standard. This thing that I'm sitting on, for example, basically it's a bumper protection unit, which allows you to mount the tow ball in there and gives you the towing capacity of 1,715 kilograms. On this particular vehicle, and it also serves to house the rear parking sensors, which you can match up with front parking sensors if you wish to option those up as well. The Mitsubishi Express has a brilliant little add-on feature here for extendable loads. So when you've got something that's a little bit long, a little bit awkward, you can open a little magnetic flap down the back there, and that will actually open it all the way through so that you can take your long loads and feed them right through to exactly where a passenger's leg would normally be. As you can see, it's quite roomy, quite spacious. There's a lot of headroom, and there's also quite a generous amount of legroom, particularly for the passenger side. In a commercial vehicle, you can't have wasted space. It just doesn't work. So they've cut this away, and we've got some nice curved sections here, which are very nicely segregated so that you can keep your paperwork from flying around the office. Moving across to the rest of the dashboard, air conditioning here, functional radio up here, and over in the center, in front of the driver, you've got a very nice dual kidney dashboard arrangement, which actually gives you a wealth of information, including outside temperature, your AdBlue content, which is your fuel additive for a diesel. You've also got your cruise control, speed control readouts, and your fuel efficiency figures. You've also got a little green bar here, which indicates that you're operating the engine at its most economical. Squeeze those little triggers together, that opens up, this comes out, and we find that we've got a very nice handy storage space for a laptop or tablet, which can very neatly be positioned and set up to work just there. But that is not even the end of it. They've also given you this thing, a paper holder, which means that you can actually sit there, draw plans with your client who just happens to be sitting there beside you, and show them exactly what their new home is going to look like. Now this is cool. we've got a rear vision display and the rear vision mirror. There's no doubt in my mind that the Express is definitely going to put Mitsubishi back on the shopping list of the commercial van user. This particular vehicle is perfect for the delivery driver, the tradesperson, anybody that needs a commercial van really should look very, very seriously at the Mitsubishi Express. It is a van that gives you the value for money proposition that we're used to seeing from Mitsubishi, and on that note, it's also worth considering the times that the van has to go in for its annual service or regular servicing, and that can be done at any of the Mitsubishi dealers up and down the country, of which there are 53. It's a fantastic proposition all told, and really if you're looking at a value for money commercial vehicle that gets out and does the business, you can't go past the Mitsubishi Express for 2021.